here. One minute. Okay. Just waiting for people to sit down.
All right, excuse me then.
Yep.
I'm just going to reach in here. I didn't turn this on yet because it chews up battery power like crazy. And I will, as soon as they say they're ready to go, I'm just going to hit a start button and then I'll be able to.
Sure does. No problem. Just looking for you too. So I'm gonna start.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mike Kellaway. I'm the Member of Parliament for Cape Breton-Canso and the Parliamentary Secretary for Fisheries, Oceans, and the Coast Guard. And I'm going to be your MC for today for an amazing announcement, a transformational announcement, the Government of Canada and EverWind Fuels. We have a host of people that I want to introduce to you that will be coming up to the mic. First and foremost, I want to introduce the Honourable Sean Fraser, Minister of Housing, Infrastructure and Communities. Trent Vici, CEO of EverWind Fuels. Chief Terry Paul, Member 2 First Nation. Chief Corey Julian, Buck and Keg First Nation. And I don't see Chief Wilbur Marshall here, but I know he's here in spirit if he's not here right now. So Chief Wilbur, hopefully you're watching on the many ways you can for this announcement. I also like to, certainly make notice of some very important people that are here. Tahira Paul, Chief Brenda Chisholm-Beaton, Warden Mumbercat, and Warden Bonnie McIsaac. Thank you for being here today as well. So I'm glad there's a podium here, simply because I'm absolutely thrilled and excited, so I need to actually hold on to something while I'll speak. I'll say a couple of things before we go into the announcement and the rest of the speakers. When we speak of rural development, I often think of some comments that Sean Fraser has mentioned many times in the House and many times in meetings, caucus meetings and whatnot, that rural Canada can and will punch above its weight. Today is an example of that. When we think of the new economy, we think of renewable energy, we think about greening our own grid, but also exporting the renewable energy to the rest of the world, and do it here in Nova Scotia. That's something special. And for the most part, we get to do it in my riding, our riding, which is great. I'd like to just say a few words about Sean. Sean is the Minister for Nova Scotia. If you see Sean in the House, it's indicative of his work. Just on any file he touches, he puts his head down. He's strategic, he's tactical. He just literally focuses on getting jobs done. I couldn't think of a better person to be the Minister for Nova Scotia in our caucus, Sean. I mean that sincerely. And it's been great working with you, and I think you have some words that you would like to communicate, maybe an announcement that you'd like to communicate right now. So over to you.
Hey, thanks very much, Mike. And I'll tell you, it really helps when you have strong community advocates who sit in the House of Commons. And Mike Kellaway has been a staunch defender of the interests of his constituency, but for rural Nova Scotia more broadly, and is a big part of the reason that we get to stand up here today to share some very good news. Gway Nindawisi, Sean Fraser, Wadosi Gisuk Basin de Gwayanuk. It's so wonderful to see so many people here. I want to thank in particular Trent, Chief Corey, Chief Terry, and Tahira representing certain partner communities who are a tremendous part of the announcement that we're going to be able to share today. We're here to celebrate a tremendous advancement in a green energy hub that is going to put Nova Scotia on the map as a global leader when it comes to the transition to a clean economy. One of the reasons that this means an awful lot to me is not just the imperative that we do our part to reduce emissions, but what this is going to mean for rural Nova Scotia. One of the reasons that I first decided to run for public office 8 years ago now was that I saw what happens to communities that experience slow economic growth when young people move away from home. I come from Pictou County, Nova Scotia, and we have some of the very similar features to our community that much Cape Breton does. I remember some of the hot issues during my first election campaign involved the closure of a local elementary school and the loss of a mental health unit at the largest regional hospital in northern mainland Nova Scotia. These things were happening because people were leaving our community in droves. I know well because I was one of them. When I finished my own schooling, I made a decision to move out west to pursue a job that would allow me to pay down my student loans. My oldest sister, who was a family doctor, moved to Northern Ontario. One of my other sisters became a chiropractor, moved to Northern Ontario. Some of my younger sisters became teachers and weren't able to find work locally. And my youngest sister, I got a lot of sisters, by the way. My youngest sister became an accountant and moved to the city. 10 years before, had you asked us what we wanted to do, none of us would have known the answer. But we all would have told you that we wanted to be able to live around home, work around home, and make a difference around home. 10 years removed from that time, we were all spread out across Canada, trying to figure out what we were going to do to create an opportunity for ourselves to get back home. When we make investments in Nova Scotia that create jobs, we create an opportunity for young people to raise their families in the community where they grew up. And if that's something we're able to promote, I feel like that we will have done something meaningful with our time in politics. Today, we're here to talk about an opportunity that green hydrogen represents. This is an industry that will help transform our local economy, but will play a major part as the world seeks to decarbonize and move towards a clean economy. There's a lot that goes into establishing a new industry from a government point of view, but also from a private company point of view. We set out to build a framework because we saw the opportunity. We have the resource necessary to produce renewable energy, particularly on the Atlantic coast with wind energy. We sat down to create a framework that involved the creation of new investment tax credits, which can actually cover up to 40% of eligible capital costs for major facilities, which could translate into millions or even hundreds of millions of dollars in support for mega projects. We also got to work with some partners on the global stage, in particular with Germany, and establish what's known as the Canada-Germany Hydrogen Alliance. There is a massive opportunity to become a supplier of choice as a trusted partner in the world with many of our European trading partners who are seeking to rapidly move away from the unreliable source of fuel they've been relying on, which has proven its unreliability, and that's, of course, Russia. As the world seeks to decarbonize, as the world seeks reliable partners who can produce clean energy, we got to be there with our hand up ready to go. But it's not enough to have a framework in place. You got to have companies who are actually going to build out the infrastructure and create the product that the world is calling for in large volumes. And that's where EverWind comes in. We've got Trent Vichy here, the head of the company, and I want to say thank you for believing in Nova Scotia and getting to where we are today. Because of the work that your company has done, we're in a position today to announce that Export Development Canada has reached an agreement in principle to support through financing $125 million towards the next step in the EverWind project. But folks, I will tell you what is far more important than the number of dollars the federal government's willing to invest in a good project like this is the number of jobs it's going to create in communities like ours. We're expecting, when this facility is up and running, we're dealing with more than 3,800 permanent jobs. And along the construction phase of this project, across Nova Scotia, the spin-off effect is going to impact tens of thousands of households here in Nova Scotia. These are the kinds of generational investments that are going to put us on the map, but create opportunities for people to thrive in rural Nova Scotia in an industry that will be in demand for the next number of decades, not just the next number of months. I want to say congratulations to everyone involved, in particular to the Indigenous partners in Buttaledeck, Member 2, and Buckingeg, who have been tremendous supporters of this project. This doesn't happen without partnerships, without Indigenous leadership, without private sector leadership, and without government leadership. But when we all come together, we can do big things, and we can do big things in small communities like ours. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Sean. I can calm down a little bit now. The rabbit is out of the hat. I also, before I introduce Chief Terry, Paul, and Chief Corey, I also want to acknowledge some other folks that are in the room. I see Warden Owen McCarron is here. Owen, thank you so much for being here. And Gordon McDonald from Guysborough, the municipality of Guysborough. Gordon, glad that you're here. And I know we have councillors from Inverness County and Richmond County and the town of Port Hawkesbury. And I'm sure if I went further back, I would find other people that are there. But all of you, thank you for coming. Next, I would like to ask Chief Terry Paul and Chief Corey Julian to come up to deliver remarks on behalf of Member 2 and Buckingham First Nation.
Good afternoon. Well, it's actually getting pretty intimidating seeing all the people in the back here. My name is Corey Julian. I'm the chief of Buckingham Mi'kmaq Nation. I'm very happy to be here today. I look at Trent and, congratulations, Trent, all you've done. And he's been to my community a number of times, and, he's come to our celebrations, and he's been with us through thick and thin. It's the past year, 2 years, it hasn't been an easy go in Buckingham. We lost a lot of great people, including our past chief, Duma Francis. And, Trent was there during that time and supported us and, helped us any which way he could, and I don't look at Trent as a partner. I look at him as a friend and part of my family. But I want to say thank you, Trent, for everything. Buckingham is an equity partner with EverWind on our Green Fuels project. EverWind has included the Mi'kmaq in development and ensuring alignments with both two ICN approaches and the project's economics. This project supported by Mi'kmaq communities and now by the Canadian government provides an opportunity to create long-lasting, environmentally sustainable prosperity for the region. This partnership enables Mi'kmaq to meet our goals of securing economic independence and energy sovereignty. True partnerships like this are the embodiment of what is meant by economic reconciliation, empowering by self-determination. Efforts toward becoming leaders in the green energy transition and decreasing the carbonization footprint are happening in real time. By applying environmental care and as being the rightful stewards of our Mi'kmaq lands, we are ensuring that we are at the forefront of the decarbonization and fighting against climate change. It is by the virtue of geographically and environmental stewardship that we are suitable at the crossroads of the global energy revolution. But it is by the virtue of our people and the community themselves, we are ready to seize it. Laliok.
Waligiskig. Waldasi Bexin that Majino Bejidaji. I sticksily within Nahoy, I was schooled to Begla. Ulido since I'm said when they cladded. Just wanted to say that I'm very proud and glad that a lot of people are here to hear what is being announced. It will be a very good future for all the people that are here. So Minister Fraser, MP Callaway, Samok, elected officials, mayors, and friends, Gwe, and good afternoon. It's an honor to be here with you on this exciting day as our partners at EverWind Fuels reach another impressive milestone. Since the beginning of this project, Trent and his team at EverWind have been working alongside my community of Member 2 and the other Indigenous communities, Budledek and Bottenkek, here today to develop one of the most progressive and sustainable projects in our province's history. It's a true nation-to-nation partnership. Trent visited us in our offices in Member 2 a couple of years ago looking to get to know us and learn about the Mi'kmaq and our culture. We quickly realized that he and his team were leading the transition to green energy in our region, and with their visions, the benefits will be felt not only here in Nova Scotia, but across the world. Earlier this week, Trent said, climate change knows no borders. And I related to that. In Mi'kmaq culture, we focus less on man-made borders and have an appreciation for all the lands and the waters that were stewarded by our people for generations and still do today. The development of this project is setting an example for how partnership and economic reconciliation should be done. We are pleased to see our government, who has demonstrated time and time again their commitment to working against climate change, recognize the accomplishments that have been made on this project, including the collaboration of our communities. I want to thank Minister Fraser and MP Callaway for advocating and supporting our project. And lastly, I want to congratulate the entire team at EverWind on this exciting announcement, as I know they will work extremely hard, day in and day out. Together, we're moving in the right direction. We're creating opportunities to be part of the solution, one that future generations can be proud of. With all of you.
Thank you, Chiefs. And First Nation partnerships and leadership is not only important, but is essential. And this initiative, large initiative, is indicative of that. Next, I'd like to ask Trent Vici to come up, who is the CEO and founder of EverWind Fuels. But before I do, Trent, I just want to say thank you. You have had a vision from day one. You're willing to put the weight into it, the time, the effort, the sweat equity, real dollars too. That's all important. I mean, the old saying is, I'll believe it when I see it, but I think you believed it first, and now we're seeing it. So you've kind of reversed engineered it, and we're appreciative of that. So with that in mind, please come up and say a few words, my friend.
I'm humbled to be here today, and I can't thank you enough, Minister Fraser, for your kind words. And it means the world to us to have the support of the Canadian government, on this day. Mike, thank you for being a champion from day one. When I met Mike early on in the project, I realized that I had a local warrior by my side there as well. I want to thank Chief Terry, Chief Corey, and Chief Wilbur Marshall from Butler Deck as well for being our partners. We would not be here without you today. Like, it's been a cornerstone of the work that we've done, and it's been so warm to be your friends as we develop this project. I also want to thank Minister Wilkinson. I can't thank him enough for the hard work that he's done for us. And being a leader and a champion in this emerging space. These things don't happen without that. I want to thank Minister Ng and their staff and their officials for all of the work they've done behind the scenes. You have no idea how much work goes into days like today, and for all those people who work tirelessly behind the scenes, I thank you as well. And finally, Export Development Canada. I want to thank you for the time and effort you've put into this. The trust that you've put into us, and I think I might see Ed Seaves here from EDC, who was joined us at the very start of this, and thanks Ed. He was born and raised in Nova Scotia, and We've found a lot of local champions here as well. I also want to make a point of thanking the Council of Colchester, who we've been spending a lot of time with recently, particularly Mayor Blair, Tim, Wade. Thank you so much, and thanks for listening. Thanks for taking consideration, and our words about partnership, we mean those. What brought us here today is I think this is a once in a lifetime opportunity to be a global leader in clean energy. And it's not that I am working from hope, I'm working from knowledge. I'm working from having sort of gone down to the studs of what this is going to take, and it is absolutely doable here today. And that's why to date we've invested $200 million to get to this point. I've been told recently that we've got the most advanced of its kind project in the Western Hemisphere, and days like today mean that probably the pace of how hard the team is going to work is going to lift again, which if that's possible, like it's with this support. We want to seize the opportunity to be a first mover in this market. There is no reason that Atlantic Canada, Nova Scotia can't be a leader in this space. Absolutely no reason, and we're delighted. This will be a global race, and with this technology, etc., and with the production of clean fuels, we can either make it here or you can import it. And I think we should make it here, and I think that it's really important. The green fuel hub that we're starting today is going to, I believe, usher in a new industry for this region. There is no way that we can decarbonize without making a start. The initial phase of this project will not only make clean fuel, but will allow integration of renewable power into our grid today, which we need. It is absolutely imperative that the work that we do allows that to happen, and we will make cheap green fuel for the region, and it will bring industry and prosperity to the region. So the comprehensive policies of the federal government developing will ensure Canada takes its place in the leadership here. So we at EverWind, we listened to the people of the region, Mayor Brenda, Mayor Mumket, Warden, sorry. And they said that, you know, we want this here, and I actually read some of the earlier reports about wanting sort of leadership and some champions, and I'm glad to be here because at the end of the day, this is going to be an Atlantic Canadian company, and we're going to grow a generation of Atlantic Canadian leaders here. So just want to thank you, the federal government. We wouldn't be here without you. We've listened and we've invested ahead of this. So to have the partnership today, that's absolutely fantastic. I'm really proud of the work we've been doing with Nova Scotia, the government here, and their policies, and the work with Indigenous partners. I'll conclude by repeating that green energy is transitioning rapidly, but we just don't have time. And so we have started to work and invest, and the learnings that we've developed will give us a lead in this vital industry. We need clean fuels, and then we need clean hydrogen, and we need to start to show Canada like the production and how we can lead that forward. From the bottom of my heart, I really mean this for everybody here in the room. If I haven't mentioned you, I see you there, Gordon. I just cannot thank you enough. It's humbling to be here today, and thank you.
Thank you, Trent, for everything. And Trent pretty much summed up everything else. You know, we want to be the leaders in terms of renewables, in particular green hydrogen. We have the resource, we have the partnership with the federal government, we have the partnership on the ground, we have the drive to make this happen, and now, you know, we have just received an injection of investment, but more than that, confidence. confidence in Nova Scotia, confidence in northeastern Nova Scotia, confidence in Cape Breton and everybody that resides in it. And I would say to the rest of Canada, don't bet against Nova Scotia in terms of green hydrogen. I want to thank everybody that came out this afternoon. I want to thank our speakers. I want to also say it's been a privilege to MC this event. It is a transformational announcement, but it's a transformational project that Sean said will lead to jobs, will lead to rural economic development, will lead to this part of Canada being a hub not just for the region, the country, but the world. So thank you so much for coming. And we'll go off to the side, the speakers, and if the media would like to come over to ask any questions of us, please do so. Thanks so much, and stick around.
Move the podium.
Sure. It's on wheels.
Oh, is it?
Or we could just move
Well,
this.
it's all plugged in, so.
You want to just move this? Oh, the series. What do you want?
Yeah, that's there. Adam's coming in a minute.
Okay. So Sean, we'll come over here.
Oh, over here? Yep. Oh, are we doing a picture?